Good morning, dear viewer. Let's have a short look at the markets. Let's start with BTC on a higher time frame. Like before, we are still bound by the length of this correction here. So the 0.1, so the length of this correction is 30,700. We are still below it, which at the moment is a little bit bearish. So until we break this and go to at least 1.414. I have to get rid of, sorry, I have to get rid of 1618. Until we go and stay above 37,000, then we are still in a bearish rally, is my opinion. So we could still see new lows. And when I say new lows, immediately what stands out is this part here. We are on a weekly. Okay, that's good. And what's happening at the moment is we're getting rejected from here. I believe we could still go down a little bit more. If we go to the down to the small time frames, skip exactly to the small time frames. I said round about here, we're going to get a rejection, and we did one wave of correction. But what was surprising to me was this pump. I mean, I was 99% sure we will take out these highs. I just didn't expect it to happen so soon, and so in such a violent manner. And what followed, and if we go even down to the lower time frames, we can clearly see an impulse down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's as clear as it gets. You don't normally get a clear impulse like that. And what I would do, if I was trading BTC, which I'm not at the moment, is I would camp with shorts in this area, or in this area. Because what follows an impulse is a correction and then another impulse as a minimum. Unless, and there's a caveat to this, unless this was a 1, 2, 3, then we got a 1, a 2, a 3, and now we got a 5. So this would be a flat correction. 3, and now I need to get rid of this part here. 3, 3, 5, flat correction. Yeah. And then we can get a pump up. This is also possible. So I would be watching this area, not entering blind shorts, although I am in shorts at the moment. I would not be entering blind shorts at this area. I would be watching these, especially the 0.5 and 618. So that's BTC. I didn't analyze ETH myself. I did a drawing yesterday, round about here, or was it? No, it was round about here, I think. I was expecting a little bit more movement to the downside, but that's okay. So let's see. Let's start with the high time frame. What did I put here? What's this? This is completely new to me. Must have left it before. Left some drawings from before. So let's start with the weekly. What the weekly shows is if we take a rectangle here and then put it on here, we are still bound by the level of this correction, or by the height of this correction. Yeah, so we didn't break it. We didn't even top the upside of it. So what I think is going to happen is at some point we're going to pump to round about 20 or 2313. What I would imagine would happen is we take this trend line and this trend line here. What I would imagine would happen is, and where's my brush now? So now we go down to here, and then bounce up, go up to the 2300, then do a correction, and then pump up. And so I would assume this would be our wave 1 or A. Yeah. Then this wave here would be our 2 or B. And then here a pump up would be our 3 or C. So we'll see. If this plays out, yeah, if we get some more downside, then a pump up again, then to me this confirms this is a leading diagonal, and then we get a correction. So this is our wave 1 or A. Then we get a correction, and then we pump up. I don't know how far. Normally I would say at least 382. Yeah, that would be my minimum. But I would want to see maybe this level, so 0.5 hit, or maybe even 618 before we, if this is correction, then before we cascade down. So still, for me at least on ETH, I still see some upside if this pattern confirms. But that's just, you know, if it confirms, if we get a diagonal here. So again, this kind of movement, yeah, three waves or 5 waves up, then correction, and then another wave up. So if we measure this move like I drew it, so if this was correcting to somewhere here, then our measured move for a one-to-one correction, yeah, so the waves would be of the same length, would be to round about 3000. Then we could dump again. And for ETH, in all honesty, we are on the weekly. So we didn't tap this liquidity here. Oh, sorry, it's here. We did not tap this liquidity here, and we did not tap this liquidity here. They are still possible. And big resistance at the moment, if we go on the monthly level, is here. And from the weekly levels, it's even, you could go, no, that's already tapped. All of this is already tapped. Yeah, that would be that. 2721. Alrighty, let's have a look at some alts. So, hook. I did hook before. Let's jump into it again. So I said I'm in shorts. And if I go down to the 1 hour, I was pretty sure that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 moves down, 3 moves up, correction, impulse, correction. And we got another correction, so this could be possibly the end of our wave down, yeah, our zigzag down. So that would have been our ABC. But in all honesty, I expect more downside. My you know, if I look at the bigger time frame, so let's look at the daily, for example, or let's okay, weekly is okay. Let's start with this. So for me, honestly, this is not an impulse up. 1, 2, 3, clear, 3 waves up, which means there is more downside coming. Yeah. So I would expect that hook at some point breaks these lows. Still, again, yeah. And the way I did this is I just took, I just went on the weekly, how I checked for resistance. Yeah, I just went on the weekly. I checked this, the low of this candle, and then projected it on a smaller time frame, and this was my entry. Yeah. So when I saw this deviation going underneath it, I opened my short. It's still open till now. So I'm in pretty good profit. That was round about, it's at the moment 14%, but I honestly expect it to go lower, and that could make me round about 40% at least. Um, what else do we have here? Rndr. Rndr, it shows me a beautiful pattern. So what I expect is that we had a 1, 2, 3, small 4, 5. That was our first impulse. Now we are getting a triangle, a symmetrical triangle, very clear, and then we should go down. So my short is open from roundabout here, and I expect it to go to this $1.4 dollars level. I'm at break even, so if it goes against me, I just close my shorts and that's it. No problem. Solana, I had what I did is I did exactly the same like I did with my with hook. So I found my resistance here we had this massive dump. Then we have the pump up, and the pump up was to this on the weekly level to the what did they call it? Order block, I think, and also to the low of this previous candle. They could still pump above it, I'm pretty sure, yeah, but at least on the 4-hour you see a big bearish engulfing candle, so that to me signals that we get more downside. And the way I look at it is I would want it to go to at least here, $16 and 30 cents, 35 cents roughly. That's the minimum, and the maximum is to take out the low. Maybe to the half of this candle here. Yeah, so they didn't leave it here for nothing. There will be a big battle between shorts coming from this side and longs coming from this side. But I think at the end of the day, there's quite a lot of liquidity left underneath this big pump. So here's support from, it's like here was resistance, then we flipped it into support, and then we could get a retest, and then up. And the way I look at it is, and I will be longing this for sure. The way I look at this is the minimum I would want to see is $30 on Solana, and then it could dump still. So what I'm thinking is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that looks like an impulse down. 1, 2, 3, 4 as a triangle, and then 5. And now what we're getting is our 1, 2, 3. That looks bad. That looks really bad. I think our support for Solana, real support, there's some here, 160, and there's some here, 485, 82. That looks terrible. If this is an impulse down, then we know this is a correction, and then there's another impulse coming down. Okay, let's have a look at the last one, maybe APT. You can check my Twitter. I think I posted it, that we should get a bounce on this level here. Yeah, we did get a bounce of what, 50%? Pretty good, I would say. And now we are cascading down. And like before, weekly level, bottom of this candle, and huge rejection. Yeah, look at this, huge rejection immediately. And when we go down to the lower time frames, First of all, what stands out is a 5-wave move down. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction. 1, 2, 3. And then a short 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we should get 1, 2, 3. This would be the beginning. So how I would mark it is this is our 1 or A. Yeah, till here. Sorry, till here. Then this is our, here is our 2 or B. And then we cascade it down for what is our, either our C, or more likely, this is the subwave of our bigger 3. So I expect it to bounce and then make a big leg down. And in the end, if we look at the, if you look at the higher time frame, I think this was a clear rejection, and we will see more downside. And the downside is to round about these levels here. This is where I would maybe re-enter, given proper signals. Okay, so for me, we are looking into some downside in the end, unless, you know, I got it wrong and this was just a flat correction and we're going to break this 30,700 level. But I doubt this, to be honest. On BTC, what I would want to see is a move to 26,800 roughly, and then maybe a pump up, and that would make us, that would make a nice, so 1, 2, 3, and that would make a nice ending diagonal for us. So that was either our A or that was our C. I can't really make it out. Yeah, so this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it could be 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure. We will have to see the bigger correction. Okay, thank you so much. Have a very good day. I hope you enjoyed it, and so long. Bye bye.